The Desert Mermaid. Once upon a time, there lived a mermaid who was very sad and scared. This was for different reasons, among them the cruelty that she saw in the world above the sea. It affected her ocean home, for all of the sea creatures could feel it too. Being good-hearted, she was inspired to make a positive difference and help heal the surface people. So she went up to live among the people on land. They could not see her mermaid ways. She blended in well enough, though not entirely. She tended to say blunt truths, and it would always stir up the emotions of those around her, which will happen when healing is needed. The surface people concerned her. Though some were clear as a still pond on the inside, many were filled with raging seas and the kinds of monsters that would topple ships and drag them to the bottom. She thought of herself as a lighthouse of sorts, trying to light the way for people to safely navigate their pain. Though it depleted her to do this, she did it gratefully in service to the higher good of home, health, and heart. However, she eventually started to get sick and fought against the strong currents within that threatened to sweep away her mind. She grew weak in the riptide of surface people's pain. She developed an illness, one that could take her life if the fates so deemed it. So she focused on healing herself, calming her inner waters, and making peace with whatever the outcome. In doing this, she completed her recovery and proceeded back out into the world with a renewed heart. Surprisingly, the high desert and its hills called to her like the sea. She followed its silent siren's call and found a plot of land that had centuries of history, battles, and mining. Long abandoned, it was a garbage dump strewn with metal, spent bullet shells, and broken glass. Even so, she could see and feel the beauty of it all. The broken glass glittered like ocean waves in the sunshine, and she was fascinated with the old rusty metal bits scattered about. She settled among the scrub, junipers, and ocotillo plants, all of which reminded her of seaweed and corals from under the sea. She bathed in their meditative movements and the desert wind and the monsoon rains. One of her greatest joys was making friends with the butterflies and local birds, particularly a mockingbird. This bird helped her the most through the dark times, at night, when the mermaid would oftentimes feel scared and alone. It was then that she always heard the mockingbird's cheery call, and it would get her through to morning's light. This got better in time, as life's hardships tend to do. Her trials were worth it, for her presence brought a healthy balance to the surface people, and her stewardship was healing the land itself. The mermaid was proud of her part and determined to stay open and curious as to whether life would one day return her to the ocean, or whether she would meet another like herself. She remained hopeful, certain that her life's reward would indeed reward her heart.